Welcome to Business 204 Business Statistics. I'm your instructor, Professor Annie No, and this is a hybrid version of the Business Statistics course offered at MiraCosta College. In this video, I'll provide an overview of the course and a tour of our Canvas site. So I've set up our homepage to have some quick links buttons above here that will help you navigate the course. To access the module for each week, you'll want to click on the weekly modules link above, or you can click on the modules link on the left side of the page. Make sure to check the calendar and coming up sections on Canvas regularly so that you know when assignments are due. The calendar can be found on the left, or if you click here on course calendar, and the coming up or to do section is on the right hand side. While announcements are made in class, I will send out a weekly reminder announcement on Tuesdays each week via email, which can also be found under the announcements button above. That way you know what to expect every week. Additional announcements are released throughout the week via email and the announcements page based on student inquiries and updates to the course. Quick access to the syllabus and the research project are also available above. If you ever notice an issue with a Canvas link or file, please let me know so I can fix it. Let's go ahead and click on our syllabus button. So in Canvas, it provides a high-level overview of the course syllabus with some of the key components like the introduction, my contact info, but I recommend making sure to download a full copy of the syllabus here as it has all the detailed information and policies of the course. If you scroll down, there's also information on the course description, the course details, the course objectives, and student learning outcomes. And all the way at the bottom, you'll also notice that there is a course summary of all the assignments and activities for the semester. So I have my courses set up at the very start of the semester, and so you can go in and plan accordingly for your entire semester. If you ever notice conflicting dates between the syllabus and Canvas, please let me know so I can address it. Let's go back to the home page. Through the home page, if we click on the weekly modules, the first module you'll see is the Course Orientations and Resources module. Please go through all the materials in this module before coming to class on January 28th. It is your responsibility to go through all the materials and bring any questions that you have to class. In addition, you can also email me with any questions as well. If we scroll down, you'll also see a module for our research project. Throughout the course, we'll be working on a research project using Airbnb data, and it'll be a group project. So I have all of the assignment components broken out throughout the semester, and they can also be found here in this module for easy reference. Scrolling down, you'll see that the Week 1 module is open. The video that you're watching can be found right here. We do not have class on January 21st, but you are still responsible for reading Chapter 1 and doing the homework. I have a link here to the PDF version of our Chapter 1 if you want to read it before you get access to the book. And then once you finish reading the chapter, you'll want to watch the video lectures I've provided before coming to class. There is a link to the Chapter 1 homework, and it's primarily conceptual. There's no real statistical analyses in it. It's just to get you some of the vocab and concepts that are important for this class. Part of the homework also includes an email using the Ask My Instructor link in MyLab Statistics, and it's worth 5 points in addition to the 20-point assignment. And then at the end of each weekly module, you'll see a end of module page that'll let you know that you've completed everything you need for that week. Let's do a quick overview of the Course Orientation and Resources module. So if you click on the first link, so here we have a welcome page for our course. It gives a brief introduction and highlights the fact that this is a hybrid course. We meet on Mondays from 3 p.m. to 4:15 p.m. in OC 4607. I remind you to please look through the Course Orientation and Resources module and the syllabus before coming to class and letting me know if you have any questions. Now, hybrid courses are thought to be the best of both worlds. You have the flexibility, thanks to the online part, to work at your own pace, but you also get the benefits of the on-campus interaction with me and your peers. But note that hybrid classes are not for everyone. While we meet once a week physically in a classroom, the remainder of the week you are responsible for reading, watching video lectures, and completing all assignments. Taking this course partially online can be difficult to stay on top of the material. Students who do well in hybrid courses keep up with the material. You need to have strong independent study and comprehensive reading skills, the self-motivation to adhere to our course schedule, and as you go through the material, Assess your understanding and identify any areas that you might need help with. When you need help, you can ask me by email or you can bring your questions to class for discussion. I also have some links here to some Canvas tutorials if you need a refresher on the Canvas basics provided here at MiraCosta College. Clicking on Next, here's an introductory page about me. It's got my contact information, my office hours, my teaching philosophy, and my instructor background. I'll touch on this a little bit in class, but I do want to highlight that I provide a lot of office hours. I find that the more office hours I provide, the greater chance of success for students in my various sections. So you'll notice that I have office hours in my office in OC 4813, but on Wednesdays from 3 o'clock to 4:30 p.m., I am actually in a computer lab in OC 4610, and I'm also available by Zoom. So you're welcome to come by those office hours in the computer lab. You can sit there and do your homework. You can come in for a quick question, pop in and out, anything at all. Or if you can't make it physically to the computer lab, you can always connect with me via Zoom. Clicking on Next, I've got a link to my YouTube channel so you can subscribe to watch my video lectures and Excel tutorials. You actually have to click on this and it'll pop out into a separate window. Here's the link to the Zoom office hours on Wednesdays from 3 to 4:30. This is concurrent with the computer lab office hours time. Clicking on Next. Here is the weekly expectations. And so again, while this is a hybrid course, I do not record a 2.5 hour long lecture for you to watch. Rather, I provide short videos on the various concepts and interactive tutorials for you to follow along using a practice problems worksheet and sometimes an Excel file. Again, I want to highlight students who do well in hybrid courses keep up with all of the material. Prior to attending class, you are expected to read the course material carefully and reflectively. Watch the lecture videos and complete the corresponding worksheet. And if you like, you can attempt that week's reading quiz. You can also try some of the homework in advance or wait for the Monday class session. Our Monday class sessions are intended to focus on the application of your learning through discussion on questions that students have about the material, working through practice or homework problems, and collaborating on the group research project. I do not lecture during the Monday class sessions. So here's the general structure for the week. You will read the assigned chapter. You'll watch the lecture videos while completing the chapter practice problems worksheet. I will provide these to you. These don't start until chapter 3, so you don't have a practice problems worksheet for chapter 1 or chapter 2 just yet. Bring your completed worksheet and any questions you have about the chapter to class on Mondays for discussion, and we'll be doing hands-on application using Excel, MyLab statistics, and working on a research project. Each class session is worth 5 points of participation. Note that the worksheet is your ticket into the class and is actually worth 2 points out of the 5 possible participation points. Reading quizzes are done in class, but you actually have 2 attempts. So you have the option of either looking at the quiz before coming to class and trying it out, and then taking it in class, or you can take the quiz for the first time in class and then save your second attempt for after class if you want to try to improve your score. Try it a couple different ways, see what works best for you. We'll talk about it more in class as well. MyLab statistics homework assignments are due on Friday at 11 p.m. and are worth 20 points per assignment. Some weeks there are additional assignments related to our team research project. My assignment deadlines and late work policy is as follows. MyLab statistics homework have a 2-day grace period. The reason why I do this is that sometimes students need additional help through the tutoring center or are waiting for a response from me or just have stuff to do. And so you've got 2 extra days on the homework without any penalty. If you're still having trouble completing these assignments, please come see me during office hours or email me for help. Research project assignments are considered late if submitted after the due dates listed in the course schedule. Please contact me before an assignment due date if you have extenuating circumstances and need an extension. I am much more accommodating when we collaborate proactively together. Clicking Next. Here's the instructions for the required textbook and MyLab statistics registration. I recommend getting the loose leaf textbook with access code to MyLab statistics from the MiraCosta bookstore. It's $115.80. Alternatively, if you don't need the loose leaf textbook, you can simply buy the ebook with access code using the instructions below. It's only a few dollars cheaper. but if you're trying to be green, this might be an option for you. Please do not buy from Amazon or other third-party sites. It will not have our unique access code to MyLab statistics. You may take advantage of the 14-day free trial for access to the ebook and the homework if you're waiting for financial aid, or you're not sure about the course and you want to see how things go, or perhaps you've ordered the textbook from the bookstore but is not ready for pickup. That way you don't fall behind on the homework. There are no refunds after you buy the textbook. Access to the text is required by the first week of class to complete the assignments. Regarding the required technology, you need a calculator and an access to a computer with Microsoft Excel and Internet. Please, please, please get Microsoft Excel. I've had students try to take the class without it and have struggled and nearly failed until they decide to buy Excel. So you can get Microsoft Office for PC or Mac for $40 through College Buys. You just have to provide them a copy of your course schedule as proof that you're a student. Alternatively, you can use the computers at the MiraCosta Library. You can also use this link here to virtually access MiraCosta's campus computers that has Excel. There's a bit of a learning curve because you're working in a virtual environment, but it works. You can also use StatCrunch, which is a tool available in MyLab Statistics. However, I do not teach using StatCrunch because companies don't know what StatCrunch is. They wouldn't use it. Companies today use Excel for statistical analyses. That's why I teach it. You can also check out a laptop from the MiraCosta Library for 7 days. You just have to wait between checkouts for 24 hours. Here are the instructions on how to register for MyLab Statistics. Note that Safari browser on Mac does not work very well, so you'll have to use Chrome or Firefox. Note that whenever accessing MyLab Statistics, you have to go through Canvas. Please do not go directly to the publisher's website. It won't work. So here are the instructions, but I've also got a video here on how to register. If you have any questions, just let me know. And then clicking on Next. Every system has its pros and cons. While MyLab Statistics is very robust for learning, it's also very picky in some of the ways that it works. So here are some helpful tips that I've compiled based on student feedback and my own experience navigating the system. I've got a video here that walks you through all those tips. Clicking on Next. Here are instructions on how to access VMware, which will let you virtually access the computers at MiraCosta for Excel, as well as instructions on how to add the Data Analysis Tool Pack in Excel. Excel already has this tool pack in its system, but you have to turn it on. And so I've got instructions whether you have a PC or a Mac. You need to add this on your computer in order to do the more complex statistical analyses. So pretty much by Chapter 3, you need this added. Clicking on Next. I also have information on tutoring, workshops, and help desks available to you that'll help you through the course, including the Pearson Support Help Desk for MyLab Statistics. Every semester, I ask students to provide advice for future classes. So here you'll find advice from past students on how to do well in the course. Clicking on Next. I've actually got some extra credit assignments already lined up for you. Here we've got a newspaper article analysis, 20 points possible. So you'll pick out a newspaper article that has statistical information and address each of the 4 bullets here. Each bullet is worth 5 points. I'll talk about this more later in the semester. Clicking on Next. At the end of each module, you'll see an end of module page. It lets you know that you've done everything you need to do. It also has my contact information if you need to reach me and a quick link to the home page. Let's go ahead and scroll down and look at week 1. While we don't have class on the 21st, you are still responsible for completing everything for week 1. So if we actually click on the Chapter 1 video lectures, you'll see here are the different videos for the lecture. I also include a PDF version of the slides so that you can follow along and take notes. Then if I click Next, here's the homework, and once it is available next week, you'll actually see it integrated right into Canvas, which is pretty nice. However, some students have noted that it's hard to see sometimes depending on the size of your monitor or your screen. So some students actually like to access the homework through the MyLab and Mastering. So when you go through this link, it'll actually let you open up the homework in a separate tab so it's bigger and easier to see. If we click Next, one of the questions on the homework in My Stat Labs is going to ask you to email me using the Ask My Instructor link, and this is where I'll do the grading for that. And then here you can see it's the end of our week 1 module. So make sure to get through all of the week 1 module content. The homework is due on Friday, but you have a 2-day grace period too. So if you have any questions, just let me know.